You guys fight. That person kept overstepping your boundaries for a long period of time. You had enough. You burst. They were wronging you, and now you burst, and now they become innocent, and they say like, what happened? And they talk to you with such a puppy face, and then you're like, yo, what did I just do? And then instead of them apologizing to you for overstepping your boundaries, you see yourself apologizing to them for overreacting. And the bystanders, when it's them overstepping your boundary, they are just bystanders and they don't even acknowledge your exploitation. But it's only when you burst, they gang up together and they bash you for overreacting and being so emotional, as if you have no emotional regulation and you are just like the bad person. Walk away from that place. Walk away from those kind of people. They are not deserving to be in your life. Don't they have eyes? Can't they see? And don't you dare rationalize their behavior. They have eyes, they can see. This is also a scenario that they did not realize that they were overstepping your boundaries because you never established the boundaries. And now you burst. That's where I would say that, okay, you should have talked to them. There was a communication gap between you two. Okay, so but if they didn't even realize that you feel bad about it, how would they know what to do, what not to do? So you ought to tell them that. But if you have told them multiple times, but they keep overstepping that, it's the only fault you have is that you didn't walk away sooner. It's true that we need to regulate our emotions too, and we need to clearly assess and put forward our wants and our boundaries on the table. So it's clearly established what is acceptable and what isn't, because most of the time we tend to avoid doing that, which leads to miscommunications and misunderstandings and these kind of things. We allow them for one reason or the other. Especially we most likely allow them because we're afraid of souring the relations, and in the name of love, most importantly, I see people getting exploited left and right in the name of love. If people are exploiting you in the name of love, just realize that people don't exploit you when they love you. They want to take care of you. Okay, they don't push you on the edge and then become act innocent when you're going crazy. Okay, this does not happen. Look, I do realize sometimes it's hard to understand the situation and to read the situation and what's going on. It's hard to understand that, to really understand that we are getting exploited and then we are getting pushed on edge. We think it's normal, but our body is getting pushed on edge, but in our mind, it hasn't registered yet. So I do understand there are these kind of situations. And even if there was this kind of situation and you reacted in whatever way that you did, and then they turn around and act like the innocent person, and then you start feeling bad, like, yo, I was feeling bad. Why am I the one apologizing? Because I was pushed on edge. The math ain't mathing, okay? You're being made to think things that aren't there, okay? They know what they're doing. And even if they don't know what they're doing, the fact that you didn't do anything wrong stays there. If you're being constantly pushed on edge, whether you register it or not, okay? It's sometimes it's our responsibility to register things in our head so that we are in tune with our surroundings and if someone is exploiting us or not. But at the same time, with friends, with families, it's hard to catch these things because we are so off guard. We don't even realize they're exploiting us until it's too late. Exploitation in itself is very in plain sight. Maybe you might not be able to see it, but other people can. Your friends can. Your partner can if they're good. So when you react to these things, you're labeled as overreacting to it. Don't buy that shit. You should have acted that way sooner, or you should have cut that people or established boundaries sooner. That is the only thing that I would say is our fault, because we just tend to be shy in doing these things, which kind of escalates things that could have been solved earlier, but it kind of escalates. So I do realize that people tend to do that a lot. They tend to bottle up things a lot, which makes things complicated. But at the same time, the fact that you reacted also means that you really care about that thing. Okay, look, for me, if I'm silent, which I mostly am in dealing with people, I don't like entertain them so much. Okay, if I see that this person is going to be this way, I just like change my direction. But for the people that I care about, I can talk to them for hours to resolve the issue, like literal hours, 2-3 hours even. And I'm just so frustrated that I would want to sit them down and resolve them. And I visibly feel bad and uncomfortable and angry and depressed. I'm just like an open book, okay, for the people that I care about. So the fact that you are trying to address that issue instead of like silently cutting them off means that you really cherish them. But you really don't appreciate what's going on. So you don't have to feel bad about these things. But the only thing that you can do in all of this is try to be more in tune with yourself. Try to establish boundaries sooner. And when something happens that you don't like, make sure to address it at that time rather than bottling it up, making things more complicated, getting bitter, and then dumping them all the issues at once. Because I know that if I start feeling bitter, the relation is gonna crash. Because I cannot be with them the same way that I am. So I cannot be bitter at someone and then hold a relationship with them at the same time. So to keep my heart clear, my mind clear, I need to talk things out. So try to do that. The only thing we can do is this. And you ought to respect yourself first. You ought to prioritize yourself first in this. If you see that you're getting exploited in the name of love, in the name of like filial piety, in the name of like work, in the name of being a student, being a teacher, being in love, being a parent, whatever. You matter. And for now, that's all that matters. Once you start taking care of yourself, it becomes a piece of cake to take care of people. So yep, that is it for this video. I hope you learned something valuable in this video. And if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.